Hi, Father. A few weeks back, you discussed purgatory. I went through the mercy door in communion, then confession, recited the Our Father, the Hail Mary every day for Pope Francis. Does that mean that that both everything I have done before is completely forgiven and I will not have to go to purgatory? So there's an interesting understanding or maybe misunderstanding of exactly how this works. Could you kind of pull that apart for us?
Sure. I mean, essentially, your conduct does, in a sense, matter, you know, vis-a-vis what you did before. I mean, yes, there's a plenary indulgence involved, and this, and plenary means full, you know, it means, you know, the whole way, you know, that can really help. But remember, the main thing, you know, about purgatory is it has to, it has to obtain the purification that is needed for you to get into the kingdom of heaven, right? You're going to get into the kingdom of heaven, but there has to be this, sometimes a purification that comes before you can go there in order to kind of take out the egoism, take out the domination from, you know, your soul, your life, what I called previously inordinate attachments. And the Lord has to do that through your free will. So, of course, you know, in that sense, purification has to have the cooperation of your free will. Now, what a plenary indulgence is saying is, you know, I am trying, right? I'm going to make all these sacrifices, which shows already the cooperation of your free will in that process. Now, here's the main thing, though, to remember, and I think, you know, if your past actions are still kind of, you know, holding you back from a transparent, non-egotistical, non-dominating, you know, sort of non-inordinately attached way of loving people and God in the kingdom of heaven, then, you know, there is going to be, you know, some kind of purification that's going to be done. But essentially, you know, the indulgence means that there certainly is not going to be any kind of a temporal punishment in addition to that purification, you know, and yes, are you forgiven? Yes, you are forgiven. So you're not going anywhere but heaven. Right. And so, you know, but your past actions can have an effect. There's just no doubt about it. Those inordinate attachments do need to be purified. Frankly, you know, much as I have tried to do as much as I can, I figure, I've got a lot of work to do. You can just ask the people who know me well. So
well, you're just helping them get to heaven. That's all.
That's right. Exactly.
That's right. That's how it works. That's how I explain it anyway. Now, just before we go, let me ask you a question too. When you talk about indulgences too, I mean, obviously, I mean that doesn't protect you from the sins you commit and the effect of those sins going forward, does it?
Yeah, no, well, the effect of the sins, it does protect you from the temporal punishment that would accrue to them, yes. But can it still do damage in the world? Okay. Absolutely, it can still do damage to people and in the world. Will it prevent you from getting to heaven? No, if you try to make, you know, a firm act of contrition before you die, and you try and you know, get to confession, you know, in the time prepared, right? And if you try in a certain sense to throw yourself on the mercy of God, which is unrestricted and unconditional, right? Then yes, you know, you may be freed from that temporal punishment. You may be in purgatory, but still there is that possibility that there is some purification that still has to be done independently of that temporal punishment. The other thing, though, is, can it still have an effect in the world? Yes, it can. Okay. Sin just continues to have its effects, even though we might be forgiven, even though we're on our way to the heavenly kingdom, even in purgatory, even though we might be freed from temporal punishment of sin. Yes, it can still have effects in the world.